The Leviathan docked at Murmansk, its battered frame a ghost among steel giants. The crew, shaken but alive, stepped onto Russian soil under heavy guard. Orders from the Kremlin were clear: bring the Black Cube to Moscow. Dragunov and his men were whisked away in black armored convoys, the icy Russian wind howling across desolate highways. In Moscow, deep inside a classified military facility, buried beneath the Kremlin itself, Dragunov finally stood before the ruling council. Gray-faced generals, shadowy politicians, and a very silent man, known only as Director Volkov, the president's personal advisor. Dragunov placed the Black Cube on a steel table. The room dimmed, the cube activated. A holographic projection filled the chamber, a vision of impossible technology. Weapons that could vaporize battalions, shields that could resist nuclear fire, drones that moved faster than thought. The room fell into stunned silence. Volkov's eyes gleamed. "This changes everything," he whispered. Within weeks, under utmost secrecy, Project Abyss was born. Russian scientists, engineers, and soldiers worked day and night to unlock the secrets of Cube. Laboratories buzzed with frantic energy. Prototypes were built and catastrophically failed. Entire teams vanished overnight when the Cube lashed out defensively, but they persisted. Months passed. The war in Ukraine escalated. And then, the first success, a small device, a weapon, was reverse engineered from the Cube. They called it Poseidon's Eye. A handheld cannon that could disintegrate tanks like dry leaves. The Kremlin unleashed it without warning. In one night, 10 Ukrainian cities fell. The world watched in horror. NATO scrambled. Sanctions rained down. Europe braced for retaliation. But Russia didn't stop. New, impossible war machines rolled onto battlefields. Black armored vehicles that hovered inches above ground. Infantry units wielding weapons that tore holes through buildings as if reality itself was fraying. Ukraine crumbled. Europe panicked. And deep in the South Asian Sea, the sovereign watched, smiling, because with every weapon fired, with every life taken by alien technology, something inside Earth stirred. Something called home. One night, Dragunov was summoned again, not to the Kremlin, but to a hidden laboratory outside of Moscow. Volkov awaited him. "We have a problem," Volkov said, his voice tight. They descended an endless spiral staircase, deeper than any bunker Dragunov had ever seen. The walls were no longer steel. There was something else, living metal, pulsating softly. In the central chamber, Dragunov saw it. A rift, a tear in reality itself. Floating above the ground, swirling with colors no human eyes should see. Scientists in hazmat suits worked frantically, placing barriers, trying to contain it. It appeared after the last weapon test, Volkov said, eyes bloodshot. And it's growing. Dragunov stared into the rift. Shapes moved on the other side. Not men, not machines, things. "We need to shut it down," Dragunov said. Volkov laughed, a hollow, broken sound. "We can't. It won't let us." As if hearing them, the rift pulsed. A low, guttural growl echoed from within. That night, across Russia, strange events began. Soldiers went missing. Entire battalions swallowed whole by invisible forces. Towns fell silent overnight. Their populations vanished. People spoke in hushed whispers about shadows that moved against the light, about faces staring from mirrors, about doors that opened onto places that weren't there before. And above it all, the Black Cube at the Kremlin pulsed faster, brighter, as if awakening. Dragunov, tormented by guilt and fear, returned to the Leviathan. He needed answers. He needed to go back to the sovereign. He gathered his old crew, the few who still clung to sanity. Mikhail among them, thinner now, his hands trembling constantly. They sailed into the South Asian Sea, and again, the tunnel found them. They plunged once more into the abyss, but this time it was different. The structures were decaying. The lights flickered. The machines lay broken, rusted in places where rust should not exist. And the sovereign? It sat upon its throne, rotting, its silver skin cracked, its luminous veins leaking dark smoke. "You have used our gifts," it rasped, voice broken. Dragunov approached, rage boiling inside him. "You lied to us," he shouted. The sovereign laughed, a dry, hopeless sound. "We offered you salvation. You chose conquest." "We didn't know," Dragunov protested. The sovereign leaned forward, its hollow eyes boring into him. "You knew," it hissed. "You were human. Your kind always chooses destruction." Behind the throne, portals yawned open. From them, things emerged, twisted, skeletal mockeries of life. Creatures birthed from war, from rage, from all the death the humans had unleashed with alien weapons. "You have awakened the hunger," the sovereign said. "It will devour your world." Dragunov turned, shouting to his men. "Back to the sub. Now!" They ran. The creatures pursued, shrieking, tearing through metal and stone. They barely made it to the Leviathan, sealing the hatch seconds before claws raked across the hull. They fled through the tunnel, chased by echoes